Alrighty guys, welcome back. We are going to be trying to get to at least the last area of Resident Evil Director's Cut here. We've gone back to the mansion, explored most of the mansion, and we'll be... Oh, 7, we're in the main hall. Yeah, and then we'll be heading hopefully down to the Umbrella Lab. I've been messing around with the sound levels and everything, so I'm hoping things are working a bit better. Now, let's just see. Oh yeah, I'm in danger. Haha, I'm in danger. Right, let's see what we can do. I'm gonna get past the spiders, get past the hunters, get to the save room, hopefully get some health. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit too beat up lately, and while I did say I had plenty of health, oof. Again, still loving those little thumpy sounds. Yes, while I did say I had plenty of health before, that's not so much a thing. Right, fucking run for it. There we go, got past, wasted 2 bullets, but managed to get my way past there anyway. Right, let's go here. We're going to go down to the safe room, pick up a couple of items, swap a couple of items around. As far as I know, as far as I recall, there's nothing else to really explore in this mansion. Nope, got everything here. Got everything there. And that little basement area didn't really have anything of much use. Let's just take a bit little, back way around the area. Okay. Oh, there we go. This is another key. Let's see how many Magnum rounds we got. We've got 20 Magnum rounds, but I actually really want to save them. So we're going to need the crank, and we're going to need a healing item. There we go. Right, so we use this battery to go and power up the lift, and then use the crank to turn off the waterfall. Again, this game does drop some very unsubtle hints on where to go, which is good. It does mean you do have to explore quite a lot, and you do have to pay attention to where you are going and what you are doing. Now let's take a look here and see if we have any hunter friends waiting for us outside. Remember, they swipe on the left. If I run around their right shoulder, I'll have a better time. There we go. Good thing I always swing with their left hand. So yeah, while I've been playing through this, I've also been reading up on a lot of the details in the STARS Special Tactics and Rescue Services, and we'll go over those in a little bit. Is that? Mad as a green herb. Alright, well, might as well take that with us. Let's see if I can kind of saunter past these dogs without upsetting them. They're both there. Yeah, as long as you don't get too close to them, they just don't seem to get aggravated. They don't seem to attack. Well, yeah, they are growling and being menacing, but they don't actually appear to be, aggravated enough to actually attack me. Which is interesting. Taking a look at it, we have a number of monsters that we have to go up against. We've got the zombies, we've got the dogs, we've got the hunters, spiders. I mean, these adders don't really count, do they? Got the weird Plant 42 thing. Yeah, but apart from that, you don't really have much of a variance in monsters and monster design. Which means that you can learn the strengths and weaknesses of each of the monsters pretty quickly. Okay, here we go. Well, bugger. did not quite manage to get out scot-free there. Bit of a shame, but never mind. Huh. I will take the map of the garden. I mean, they're still not aggroed. These doggos actually seem pretty chilled. In fact, getting attacked by that dog earlier didn't do anything health-wise, or unless the damage to my health was so negligible that it doesn't show up on the 4 different levels. So that's the thing, like, you don't just have 4 health points, you have 4 different levels of health. You've got the green fine, yellow fine, orange caution, and then, you know, dead red, basically, a danger red. And I'm guessing those show sort of various percentages. Right, so water's all filled up there. I can't go back across that way, but I can go down the elevator. So yellow, I'm guessing, is 75% or below. Orange is going to be 50% or below. Good thing they can't get past that little invisible wall there, right? And then danger is 25% or below. Well, let's see. So that dog, yep, so it's knocked me down to below 75%. Let's just run for it, because I'm hoping, yep, just go down this ladder. There we go. So a little area here. Little typewriter. If I had an ink ribbon, I could save, but I do not have an ink ribbon. And this requires a hexagonal hole. So, yep. To get to the lab, you need at least 2 cranks and a whole bunch of other ridiculous items just to get through this underground area, out of the mansion, out of the underground area. Right, so if I recall correctly, picking that up does something, and I'm pretty sure it's a bad thing, but also I don't recall that weapon being that helpful. It's very, very short range. It burns through fuel very, very quickly, so you run out of ammo very, very quickly. Okay, got first aid spray there. Alrighty. I love there's a random hole here, and I'm not too sure why. I always remember being vaguely confused by this underground network. What do we have here? Enrico, same sort of situation, same setup.
Come any closer, Chris. Wait, what happened? Double crosser. Don't! Hell. Umbrella. Who is it? Is someone there? Double crosser? What did he mean by that?
So apparently both Chris and Jill don't seem to get the idea of chasing after the person who just murdered their teammate. He couldn't have moved because of this injury. And he's holding something. Yes, Crank. Is he holding anything else? Anything fun? Yeah, perhaps a gun in his hand? Nope, okay. Okay, hold on. Swing to the left, run around on the right. There we go. So, whoever it was that shot at him then managed to summon some hunters. Which I'm not too impressed with. So I'm running around. I'm going to run around and away. I'm going to use this crank in the location that I need to. I'm hoping. There aren't going to be too many more hunters on the way. I'll see. I'm sure there is like a item chest somewhere around here. So when I played through this on the original Resident Evil, I did say it was a bit of a shame that you couldn't pick where the crank actually moved the gap in the walls. The same issue. Alrighty, time to run for my life. There we go. I don't know about you guys, but that was very loud for me. Alright, so there is some sort of... Ooh. Oh, come on. Can't carry any more magnum bullets. Well, did they all just spawn out of that boulder? Anyway, Ooh. Horror noises. Oh. That's what that was for. I am genuinely going to have to run all the way back, aren't I? Yes, I am. So I can just pick up the flamethrower from here now, right? I'm so confused. Alright, let's get the flamethrower. Let's get a wiggle on and let's see if we can beat this monster. So, really quickly, got the scary music. We're going to pause this. Just want to talk about the layout of this boss chamber here. Highlight it here and let's bring up our Untitled Paint. Right, so as you can see, you've got what looks like just one sort of large arena to kind of run around in. It's big, it's square, it's mostly empty, with the spider taking up most of the room in the arena, so it's very hard to actually escape from it. Yes, it's very hard to actually escape from the spider, and then you can see the actual escape on the other side is covered in cobwebs. You can break it down. I think you can burn through it or kind of cut through it with a knife or something, but that will take time, and during that time you can have a spider crawling all up and down your butt. So yeah, it's interesting that they've kind of chosen to just use another just giant creature, possibly using the same sort of model just with a different texture. I know the art design did have several different spider designs. Let's see. So we've got the web spinner, which is here. We got web spinner spider. And then we had a completely different one with a different name. There we go. The black tiger spider. There we go. Not exactly a spider expert, and they look very, very similar apart from the colors. And I guess the black spider has, the black tiger has much larger legs. So anyway, let's see if we can actually get this done. Drop down the thing here. Let's unpause this game and see if we can survive. I mean, okay. And if it's not broken, I mean, we've still got that weird sort of scary music kind of playing hauntingly in the background, which is quite strange. Save room! Save room! Oh, and blue herbs. Okay, that's good. Of course, I cannot carry any more items. That would be silly. Okay, so let's put this crank down. We're going to try and heal the poison in us before it wipes us out. I'm going to put the first aid spray away as well. One of many first aid sprays that we have. Let's see if we can add a green herb to this just to give it a little bit of oomph. We'll keep this hexagonal crank. In fact, we gotta check it. We gotta actually analyze it. So tell me that's a hex crank. And let's combine these two herbs. So yeah, like I said, I'm doing my research. Apparently, mixing the blue herb with a green herb actually makes the efficacy of the green herb a little bit stronger. Like, instead of it healing 20%, it heals like 60% or something, which is, really good. Maybe not 60%. Maybe 40%? Anyway, so let's pick up this ink ribbon. Put all this extra stuff down. Kind of hoping I'm not going to need too many more. Right, so let's put that down here with all the other healing things, and let's combine these. Still got 11 ink ribbons. I mean, I haven't really been hoarding them, but that means you can save at least 18 times, which is quite a lot. Anyway, so let's go with this flamethrower and let's see if we can go and torch some zombies. Again, I want to save the magnum bullets as much as is humanly possible. So you can hear the boss music playing, but kind of distantly, maybe because I haven't actually beaten the boss, so it's still lurking behind in the walls. Right, so a little hint there. Umbrella. Again, weird. Why do people need to carry a flamethrower through these tunnels on their way to their job every day? So that takes me up there. I'm not going to head in there just yet. What else do we have? Oh yep, so we've got that. So again, it's cool that we have a large 3D rotating sort of tunnel here. It just doesn't make a lot of sense in any sort of real-world setting, in any sort of setting really. But, there you have it. Umbrella is run by a bunch of mad people that want to Make everyone's daily trip to work really, really difficult. So now, if I remember correctly, once you rotate that round, you can actually go in here, and there's actually a room. Without hiding the key item there. So, I do remember this puzzle because these things, when they're up against the wall, you can't actually pull on them, you can only push them. So we push this one along, and this little crank here actually pushes out a section of the wall, playing into the mechanics of the push-pull movement system that we already know. There's a hexagonal hole, and I have a hexagonal crank. There we go, very cool. Apparently I just wasn't looking in exactly the right direction. So use the wall to push that out. Obviously you still can't actually move it just yet. Though I could, I guess. There we go. Move it that way. There's more than one way to skin a horrible gorilla creature thing. Lab key. Lab key? Lab key. So I've actually done this before and actually died. Right, there's a weird blue book there, and I think it goes with the weird red book that I've collected earlier. Yep, there we go. I like how this section here appears to be 3D, whereas the part behind it appears to be pre-rendered. That's strange. I don't know. Oh yeah, because that's the actual section that you'll be able to see from this angle. So they kept it 3D, and they just used the same model just there for that camera angle. It's quite interesting. Right, map of the underground. I'm going to quickly look at the map and make sure I haven't missed anything important. Control is disconnected again. I'm not 100% sure why. Oh, okay, I think the battery might be dead. Okay, so that might be one of the issues. I think the battery might be dead. Let's play this bad boy back in and see if that helps. Okay, so this is the underground. It doesn't look like I've really missed anything of note. Sure, there might be a way to keep the flamethrower somehow, but genuinely, it's not a very useful weapon. You know, even when I was fighting against the very slow-moving boss spider, it didn't really seem to do very much. Again, why do we have boulders in this underground passage that leads to the lab? Okay, anyway, right, so I've got the 2 books. I'm going to go get the other book really quickly from the little save room, and then I can use the 2 medallions that'll take me down into the main lab. Please don't let there be any hunters. So now it feels kind of weird, like leaving a boss creature just sitting there, but you know, it's just a spider. It's just doing what spiders do. That is going to concern me with the controller kind of popping in and out of existence. I've put on charge in a bit. Right, so I need the other book. Doom book. I don't think I need the crank anymore either. Okay, and let's read these lovely books. Nothing important. Last Wolf in the West. A medal inside the book. To be fair, the original version I played was the Biohazard, the Japanese version, which was made for the PC, and there's been a lot of fans working on it to like improve the graphics, improve the meshes for and the textures for the 3D models, changing some of the audio, like improving the audio, and also trying to sort of update the pre-rendered backgrounds, kind of giving them a bit of a makeover. Which is great. I mean, it's great that they're kind of like working on it, and it's good to see such a labour of love. And it was really interesting to play through it. I mean, the background textures were still on the same sort of 540 by 360 resolution, but the models were crisp and clear as anything. So it was kind of jarring to see, really, since you're used to everything being on the same sort of pixelated, resolution range. But it was quite good when you could actually look at the objects, the three-dimensional objects, and actually read the writing on them and stuff as they were meant to be. Because unfortunately, the design work at the time just didn't allow for very high-res textures. Right, now remember, this is the main entrance into the laboratory. There is a gate leading to. There we go. A little cutscene here, opening up a well, or little fountain thinking pool, wishing pool, whatever, that takes you downstairs to an elevator. Now there is a helicopter pad here, which you could see through the window as Jill, but obviously if you look through the window as Chris, crows attack you because, screw you, you're Chris. And it does actually seem like the game really enjoys kind of taking a massive dump on Chris at every opportunity, whereas Jill gets a helping hand every room she goes through. But again, like I said, it's a design that makes it easy on one playthrough and then harder on another playthrough. So it's good that you have different difficulties. I have noticed though, like with the arranged system, they still have to provide the items within certain parameters, so rearranging the items a little bit hasn't really done much to alter the gameplay as a whole. And with the sort of placement of the monsters and stuff, all they've really done is just kind of ramp them up to 3 monsters per room, just to make it really awkward and annoying. But again, it hasn't really changed much of the gameplay, and so far as I play it anyway, because I try to run from most of the monsters and conserve my ammo for when I really, really need it. So this is tightly locked. There's a plate on the right hand side. Will not open unless under first class emergency exit. Right, good to know. This ladder, will I descend it? Yes, I will. There's even a bit of a loading lag there. Righty, here we go. Items. Now I am going to pull out the. Okay, so I'm going to put the mix tabs away. I have a lot of mix tabs. I am going to pull out the ammo disc, and I am also going to pull out the Python with some. Oh, no, those rounds. Just in case. Now I don't recall any major monsters that I have to fight, but it's always good to be prepared, right? For example. Again, this discordant piano music is really weird. Slide cartridge on right. So you can look at the sides. There's a phone. Obviously, I don't even think of calling anybody. Oh yeah, and that's electronically locked. You have to go and sort out the electronic locks before you can open any of those doors. Ooh, this is an interesting sound effect. Right. That's something I do want to actually go over in a second. The weird monsters that we have here. Right, so we've got 4 shotgun shells. Passcode panel. You don't have the passcode, so you're going to need to get the passcode. That's electronically locked. I'm guessing this is electronically locked. Oh, it is not. Right, let's see what we can see here. So yeah, we're down in the actual Umbrella lab now. Okay. And there still appears to be nothing but zombies to fight, so that's good at least. Goodness, right, I'm having trouble here. Right, so let's see if we can turn the light on. So let me look around. There we go, right. Researcher's letter, dear Ada. Now this is the introduction of Ada, who is actually one of the main characters throughout the series, both in the games and the movie. Interesting that they chose her instead of anyone else, but it's, you know, strange. Anyway, so June. Pretty sure we get here in July. Dear Ada, Ada, by the time you read this, I'll be something different. Today's test turned out to be positive, just as I expected. I feel like going crazy when I think about becoming one of them. Ada, you're not infected, and I hope you never will be. In case you're the last one left, take the material in the visual data room and go to the power room to operate the triggering system before you escape. Make all of this public through the media. If everything's in order, all the locks can be opened by the security system. You can access the system if you log in with my name from the terminal in the small lab and enter the password. The password is your name. Double checking, password is Ada. To unlock the door at B2, where the visual data room is located, you'll need to access with our name first and then enter another password. I've written the code below. I'm sure you'll understand it easily. This is my last hope. If you find me completely changed, please kill me yourself. Yours, John. That's interesting. I don't know if there's any other lore to John and Ada. Let's see. Can I push this? Yes, I can. Which will have another switch there, which changes this. Something is written on the picture. Now, to be fair, you know, using your brains a little bit, you can actually tell what all these things are. So that is quite clearly. Let's just go back onto here. We're going to pause, highlight, pause, and we're going to highlight this here. Right, so as you can see, this is quite clearly man, and then next to it, if we can move him out of the way, is, you know, something man, so what man. This is apparently highlighting an apple. If that comes back, yep, highlighting an apple. And here we have something that is green with a brown trunk. Something, 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 two similar things. Tree. If we go back to the other, the note that we picked up, it'll have an M, an O, an L, and an E. So the password is mole, but we'll go back and actually check that, so we can double check and make sure we're right. Let's turn that off, and there we go. So it's good. You can actually go into the files here, and you can see all the different items that you can pick up. Scrapbook, researcher's letter. So is it this one? Yep, dear Ada. So this password just at the end here, M-O-L-E. Yeah, which I thought is, you know, it's quite good. But if you turn on this blue switch here, it changes the lighting in the room. It shows you what those words originally are supposed to mean. So, right, so let me just check this box, see if there's anything of any use. No. Handgun bullets, which unfortunately are not very useful in this situation. Right. I'm going to pause this here really quickly because I did want to actually show you guys this. So, as you can see here, we have the creature designs of a new type of zombie, the naked zombies. The apparently anatomically correct naked zombies, which I'd never noticed before, but never mind. We'll just There we go, blur that out. But as you can see, so you've got the zombies that have absolutely no clothing on, but they seem to have like a weird sort of, cut in their chest, so I guess they might have been through an autopsy or something before they came back to life. I generally don't actually know why they aren't wearing any clothes. It's just weird. And the other fact is, like, from what I recall, the zombies aren't any more powerful or any more dangerous than normal. There's just a lot of them, and I think, weirdly enough, I think they actually respawn. Which is something, we're going to test, we're going to check, so. Right, so, let's see. Hear one shuffling towards me. I do like the fact that the sound effect for them is different because they've got bare feet on the cold stone there. Ah, right, cool. I'll go through here, and when I do go back out, I will see if they respawn. Right, so let's see what we have here. Another MO disc. I'm not going to take a disc yet because I want to save a little bit of space in case I need it. Nothing special, just a bunch of chemicals, some weird tubes, nothing special. Nothing special, nothing you need to worry your pretty head about. So, this computer's used to open the electronic locks. Will you turn it on? Yes. Apparently Chris is smart enough to use a computer, even though he's not smart enough to use chemicals or play the piano. And here, with all the Umbrella logos, they're dropping some very subtle hints that the Umbrella Corporation is behind the outbreak. Right, so login. We know the login is going to be John. I do like the fact that you can actually, use this keyboard and type things out here. And the password is Ada. I also like the fact that Chris apparently gets impatient while thinking about the password. You can see his hands kind of tapping away there. And like, this is a weird little sort of like mini game situation, which, they didn't really have to add, but they did. Like this whole setup here, completely unnecessary. They could have just brought up the login screen, just on our screen, without his hands on the keyboard or anything, but they decided to add it. So, right, so we know that the password for this is mole. I'm guessing John is a mole, or Ada is a mole. Verified. Yeah! And we can open the basement door lock operation for B3 as well. Yeah! Never seen anyone so excited to unlock a door. Pew! Right, so like I said, okay, I'm going to pick up the ammo disc because I don't think I need to come back here. So I'll take this with me. Now, I only have 2 shotgun shells left. I don't really want to be using my magnum bullets on simple zombies, so we're going to see. Hopefully we'll get some more ammo soon. Okay. From the other side. Whoop, more zombies coming our way. And I've used the lab key. So the key is useless now since it only has one use. I do find it quite interesting that at the beginning of the game you get the keys and they have like 4 or 5 uses, but then later on all the keys only have a single use. Maybe it's about conservation of the items, item space, inventory space, and so on and so forth. Ooh, a red herb and some shotgun shells, which, to be fair, is going to be pretty useful in a second. The angles in this are very, very strange. Yes, I'll take the shells. See. Now this is actually a lot better though, because in the original version, the angle was at a completely different angle, and it was actually really, really hard to tell whether you got the chests over the grates or not. I'm going to leave here because I think there is an actual save room just around the corner, and I can use that to go and drop off my items. So let's go see if we can shoot the zombie in the head. There we go. So none of these zombies appear to be super zombies, despite the fact we were introduced to weird, super fast running zombie that took 4 or 5 shotgun blasts to actually kill. There we go. Right, so I'm going to put the ammo discs in the chest. Right, so let's put these ammo discs away just for now. We've got the slides there. More shells there. So I'm going to take these 2 herbs here because I can make a triple stack using these here. Again, I like that all the save rooms are pretty much the same. They have, you know, the same sort of weird little shelf with items on it. The typewriter. Okay, what item do we have here? Ooh, more Magnum rounds. Definitely going to take those. I'm going to take them, but I am also going to drop them in here. Just for now, anyway. While I kind of figure my way around the rest of the Umbrella Lab. Okay. Let's get a link ribbon out. Let's save this properly. Okay, I'm just going to save this properly because we have come quite a way. But I'm hoping to take this all the way to the end of the game, since there isn't a huge amount left from the looks of things, from what I recall anyway. Overwrite, yes. Save number 8. Admittedly, a ridiculous amount of saves, but again, sometimes the jankiness of the game and sometimes my just inability to turn around a corner does make the basic encounters in the game rather deadly. And rather than going back through things over and over and over again, oh, that is lovely. Hold on. Look at that. Look at the detail there, the gory detail. Yeah. See, they actually did put a lot of detail into these very, very low-res, low-polygon models. You can see, you know, there's just enough shape to kind of give definition to the head, but the head itself is actually on a completely different polygonal model to the body. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, so if you see here, these are actually, this moves because they're not actually connected. So they're separate poly models that are on like a sort of skeletal basis here. The arms as well are different poly models to the chest, and it looks like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a tie or if that's his ribs kind of poking through his rather untidy shirt there. You can see sort of blood and pus all over it. There's sort of not just the dark orange and browns of blood, but you've got like the sort of yellowing stains there as well. And then if you look into his eyes as well, you can see that they are milky and faded and half blind, so that's why the zombies do sometimes have trouble seeing you and sometimes have trouble detecting where you are. You can even see sort of like marking and scratches along his neck here, and you know, like where the boils and the stuff have kind of like eaten away at his flesh and his skin here. I love the fact that they've put so much thought and detail into this, even though you can't really see most of the models up close. You tend to stay pretty far away. That's just, yeah, I find it kind of fascinating that they've put so much effort and so much detail into this. Anyway, right, so let's go back over here. Boop. Refresh. Okay. Hello there, my friend. Let's just shoot him in the head. Let's see, so what is here? Another power room. I remember what is here, and I'm not going in there just yet. So let's take a look. Do the zombies respawn? No, they do not. There's a little shambling one there, but I can leave him alone for now. Not really going to have to deal with him too much, at least until I get that area unlocked. For now, however, I'm going to take the red herb and combine it with this, so we have triple herb to take care of us. However, healing doesn't really do much if you are getting poisoned by poison gas that is getting released by this nasty little trap here. So, can I get in? Nope, so I'm going to have to move you a little bit. Move you down here. Move that there. Go down, round and back. And there we go. Now if I can move this onto the square I need, there. Now I know for a fact, because I have done this before, rather recently, I know if I do if I do put anything on top of that button, including walking over it myself, it'll trigger the trap and I will die of poison gas. There we go. So that looks pretty solidly over the grate. Just realized I'm going to have to move you out the way a little bit. Move you along here. Move this up. Okay, can I go around this way? Can I go round and round? Because again, if I even step on it, I run into a heap of troubles. You can see where we're trying to get to is an air vent over there. But the question I always asked is why? Why is there a gas room button here? You know, why is there gas in this room at all? Why is there a stepladder that lets us gain access to the air vent? It's all very, very strange. And it is something that they do address a fair amount in the later games. Even in Resident Evil 2, they try and make these sort of puzzles, the environmental puzzles at least, a lot more thematic and a lot more believable, I think is the best word I can come up with. Obviously, it's still got that weird sort of super gothic feel. There we go. Where the okay, we've got some zombies here. There's a zombie on the ground there. There's another zombie on the ground there. Oh, and this is passcode output machine. Are these zombies? They don't look like zombies. There's a bunch of bodies here, but this place does seem to be a morgue. It's dead in here. There's something interesting there. A magnum bullet did not kill this guy. That did, however. Right. There was more magnum bullets. Right, so that's a bit strange. A corpse is laid here. Yep, and this is a morgue. And this unlocks from the other side. Let's see if there are zombies on the inside here. Nope. So they do respawn, because I'm pretty sure I killed that guy. Anyway, right, so I've unlocked the doors here. I need to go upstairs to get the slides. So I know it's supposed to be kind of terrifying, but it's actually more annoying than anything to know that every time I go through that main hub room, because it's connecting all the other ones, so every single time I go through there, I'm going to have to deal with those zombies over and over and over again, which isn't fun. It's actually more annoying than anything, especially since, you know, you can take them out in one shot. That's a point, though. There were actually 4 zombies in that room, so I'm guessing the limit wasn't 3, it was 4. So we've got ourselves a little room here, a little examination room. There's a weird grate here. There's a panel. Will I open it? I guess I will. There's a switch. Will I push it? I guess I will. Okay, so I've got some notes. Unfamiliar physics symbols are written here. I'm not too sure why the chemical boys are playing with physics, but you know, science is science, right? Another MO disk. So you use these MO disks in passcode generators. Seems to be a startup disk. And yeah, they give you 3 different passwords that help you unlock the door at the end of the hallway there. So you can use these slides here to learn a little bit more about Umbrella. Umbrella Bioorganic Weapon Official Report. So if we didn't know what BOW stood for before, we know what it does now. Bioweapon materials. So MA39, so obviously lots of different iterations of these creatures, Cerberus. So they purposefully took these dogs, look like Dobermans, and I mean that one on the bottom right looks a bit more like an Alsatian than anything. And yeah, they injected them with T-virus to see what happens. They grew horrible growths all over them, became very violent, very rabid, and you know, attacked. Neptune, fishy get big, I guess. It looks basically like a shark, and to be quite honest, it doesn't really seem to do anything out of the water. So FI3 Neptune. So I'm guessing MA meant mammal and FI means fish. Alright, so MA121 hunter. So if it's a mammal, it's not a frog, so I'm guessing it was some sort of gorilla that then grew long claws. And T002 tyrant, which of course is going to be the boss at the end of the game. Looks human, but has massive claws on one hand. Makes you wonder what happened to T001. Got a blank slide here, and then a slide here of what looks like a terribly photoshopped Wesker with a bunch of other characters in it. So I'm not too sure where they got the photos from, but they just don't look... They look weirdly photoshopped in, so it's quite odd. Bioweapon Research Institute, R&D stuff. I don't know why they photoshopped it. Maybe it's just the low quality that makes it look a bit weird. But Wesker doesn't look like he's there. It looks like he's kind of been sort of airbrushed or photoshopped in afterwards. Yeah, again, weird design choices. But again, to be fair, with that style, and like him looking a bit different to everyone else. Ooh, security system. Basement level, helicopter port, executives and government officials only on the helicopter port. This restriction may not apply in the case of an accident. Passage to the helicopter, no one is allowed to enter unless they are attended by a research consultant or security director. All others will be shot on sight. Elevator, the elevator stops during emergencies. Visual data room, that's where we are right now, is within the control of the Special Research Division. Keith Irving, the room manager, is designated to have jurisdiction over room usage. Prison, Sanitation Division controls the usage of the prison. Consultant researchers E. Smith, S. Ross, and A. Wesker must be present if the virus is used. Triple lock door, no one is allowed to enter unless he presents all passcode documents. Passcode documents must be created on the specialized output machine by the chief researcher of each block. Only headquarters supervisors may enter the power room. This restriction may not apply if the consultant researcher has received special instructions. Passcode output machine, no one is allowed to use passcode output machine but the chief researchers. Top secret, basement level 4. Regarding the progress of Tyrant after the use of the T-virus, the remaining document is unreadable. So again, they're trying to still add a bit of mystery and a bit of mystique. Right, so let's go through and round. We have our MO disks, and we're going to have to find out where all the password things are. Right, so there is this here. I just want to reload my gun, especially if these zombies are constantly respawning. I'm going to put this down here. I'm hoping I'm not going to need it, and I'm hoping if I do need it, I can get to one of the safe rooms in time to use it. Charles, Magnum round, ammo disc. Okay. Oof. Right, that's going to bug me. That's going to bug me. So let's combine all of these together. I have 25 Magnum rounds, which should be more than enough to deal with whatever they're going to throw at me. That's not really the issue, really. The issue is just surviving long enough to shoot it enough times. Now, when I played this as Jill, genuinely it took 2 shots with the Magnum gun to take down the tyrant, and there wasn't a second wave, a second form to fight, because I didn't have the good ending, so you literally just get out and you're done. Which was kind of disappointing, to be honest, but I got to finish the game, so happy days one way or the other. Oh. So he's not respawned. Very grim. Oh. So it does kind of bother me that those monsters are constantly respawning, and there's nothing I can really do about it. But c'est la vie. It's more of an annoyance, and I don't really get the design choice behind it. But oh my goodness, 5 zombies. I mean, that's, to be fair, impressive. That is, to be fair, impressive, especially for the time, having 5 zombies running around one room. Right, Excite 1998. What do we have here? Fax. To the General Manager of Sanitation Division from the Special Committee on Disasters, Raccoon Special Research Department. This memorandum is strictly confidential and must be destroyed as soon as it is understood. Since there were 5 zombies in here, I guess they never understood it. Regarding the T-virus outbreak which occurred recently, this committee conducted a field survey. According to the survey results, estimates on the amount of damage caused by the accident are considerably greater than reported earlier. First, although it's very difficult to obtain accurate data in terms of actual numbers, it is thought that half of the researchers died after exposure to the T-virus. The body count will most likely increase since nearly all of the survivors show symptoms peculiar to the T-virus. Second, our security system is still in operation. However, our special security guard squad has been nearly destroyed. Because of that, research information considered by our company to be top secret has been made available to outsiders. Countermeasures should be taken as soon as possible. Finally, many of the subjects from the experiment have escaped and are out of control. We believe that some researchers were killed by these subjects and their bodies were mutilated. By curious coincidence, these events are proof of the success of our research. However, there is also a very high risk that this news may be leaked to the press if we don't act immediately. The condition is very serious. Our operation to cover up the situation is difficult to attain. However, we hope the problem will be solved quickly. We are especially concerned that the state police and STARS are intervening too quickly. We need to act on this situation as well. So they're doing a mad scramble to cover up all the horrible things that have happened here. Now, let's see if there's anything on the bookcase. Most of them are fiction books. Okay. Nothing special. This is a passcode output machine. So I use an ammo disc on the passcode output machine. Passcode 1, little slip of paper here with the passcode, it's a very long one. I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this and you have not withheld your son, your only son, from Genesis 22:16. Now, is there a little jab there that the passcode that comes out, printing out Bible quotes, is right next to a pile of books that are mostly fiction? Maybe. Can I switch for the air conditioner? I mean, I'm glad that they added that little detail there. That's interesting. Does the switch do anything? Nope. Right. So we can get our first ammo disc, well, our first passcode thing here using an ammo disc. So it's not only that you have to have the keys, you have to use the keys in specific locations, which then give you passcodes that then let you unlock this final door. Of course, you don't have to do this. You can actually go through the entire thing without doing this. Okay, so he's not respawned. Damn. Right down to my last bullet. There's a weird hole in the wall here. And it's too dark to see anything. I'm going to see if they'll... yeah, it does. They kind of like veer off in a weird direction, like sometimes left, sometimes right. I think it's... yeah, so they're left. They veer to their left. Oof. He's respawned. Well, that is annoying as hell. So all of the zombies down here constantly respawn, which is not good news. 1 second, guys. Right, so let's get back out here. That was a waste of a bullet. Right, so let's head on through to here. You know what? I don't actually know what's expected of me now. I mean, I've got to declare an emergency, basically, but... these things... Ah, here we go. I hate these things. I hate them so much. Whoa. I will activate the blacked out areas. Wah! Wah! Yes, I will carry on screaming like a little girl every time these things try and attack me because So I believe these were originally chimpanzees or something. I don't like them. I do not like them. They are horrible, they are gross, they are icky. Right, passcode output machine. Yeah, I could indeed, so I will use this. And I honestly don't think... And through your offspring all nations of earth will be blessed because you have obeyed me. Right, so there is a third passcode machine somewhere. I just gotta remember where it is. Are there no monsters here? Oh, okay, cool. That's weird. Let's go through to here. Wow, it is noisy. It is very noisy. Ah, right. So these things are here now. A power connection switch. The elevator power is off. I will connect it. Power for the elevator is now activated as the power supply and the circuit have been connected. Cool, awesome. So, okay, that's actually one thing. So, hold up a second. I actually find this quite interesting as well. So it's something that the spiders can do as well. They can climb on the ceiling, which means that they would have had to map out, if you can see things a bit brighter here, so they would have had to map out an entirely different plane for these things to be able to move on. So just up here, they'd be able to move around on that. And they have like sort of coding where they can sort of walk up and down on this part, but they can also swap down to the two-dimensional, well, three-dimensional plane here that we walk around on. More than that, though, they can actually detect when they are on the same sort of X and Y location as the player when they are on the roof, because when they are actually above you, they swing their arms down to kind of slash at you. And I find that quite fascinating. I don't know if they will be completely mirrored in the layout of the sort of lower area and the upper area, but it also means that they can jump from one to the next and back and forth, which I think is quite unique, quite ingenious, and it means that you have to watch out for them on the ceiling and on the floor. When they're on the ceiling, all they can do is kind of swing down their kind of little clawed arms and attack you. But when they're on the floor, they can actually jump on your back. So you get a monkey on your back, and they can take bites out of you, which can be pretty devastating health-wise. That's quite fascinating. So these things are called the Chimera, and let's just see if I can bring up the design for them. So where are they? There we go. So these horrible little creatures, and yeah, as you can see, they do look a lot like sort of chimpanzee-ish type creatures. Look at like weird sort of skull faces here. I don't know what's happened to the mouth up there, but again, they've got these weird sort of hooked, clawed hands here, and they've got hooked feet so they can climb around on the ceiling. To be fair, looking at it now, they look almost spider-like because they've got these extra sort of furry clawed bits kind of coming out here. I don't know if they're part spider, part chimpanzee, but the creature design is unique and interesting anyway, so it's something to note. So let's get back here. Let's darken the screen again. And alright, so come on. Okay, can I make it? Yes, I can. Woo! I like how the steam is still playing while I'm frozen and everything else is frozen while I'm turning on the switches. Alright, hopefully that's the last time we have to come back here. No, I'm sure it won't be. Right, so let's get through here, get back out. Where is that last ammo disc reader? Oof, nearly. I know this is pretty much the end. Where is that other ammo disc? Alright, so we powered up the elevator and we can head down in the elevator. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some Magnum bullets and a little health pack just in case, because I know I might have a little bit of a problem with what comes next. So, Magnum rounds, lots of Magnum rounds, and a first aid spray. I know I'm going to get a terrible rating for this anyway. I have been kind of standing around and making notes and pausing the game on and off. It's good that the zombies are no longer around, right?
Chris!
Oh, Rebecca's still alive. Hooray!
Rebecca, you're safe.
I saw you in the garden. I've caught up with you at last.
So it's got like a medical thing on the back as well.
I'm glad
First
you're
aid kit.
all right.
Oof.
Don't go out alone.
Yes, sir.
Some weird stuttering there, but never mind. Right, so Rebecca's still alive. I do still have to free Jill, but I just can't remember where that last ammo password reader is. Kind of wrecking my brains now.
Chris, as my subordinate, you have wonderful talent.
I would never work for a company like Umbrella. And Wesker, you were formerly with Umbrella.
What do you mean?
Since when have you been an Umbrella agent? And a traitor to the stars?
Now you're wrong. I was formerly with Umbrella, yes. But now I'm prepared to face anything. Even getting rid of you vigilante stars.
Now, the worst possible situation has occurred. The failure of the experiment created a virus, a biological weapon, polluting the entire lab.
No, the worst happened with the Tyrant virus. I lost some of my STARS team members because of it.
You killed them with your own hands. Did you kill Enrico?
Really?
Yeah, like this.
Rebecca!
Don't move.
Like this.
Dude, I'll kill you. Chris, I have something to show you. Now, walk.
So did he want to kill his STARS team members, or did he not want to kill them? Because he is just kind of shooting everyone. I know it's like his orders, but... So he's in this for himself. The motivations in this is very odd. Again, with the discordant violins and stuff, it's... I know it's supposed to be building tension, but it actually just makes me feel kind of annoyed.
Is this?
That's right. This is the ultimate life form. Tyrant. Chris? Stop it.
Wesker, you're pitiful. This is your savior? You say this failure is your savior?
You can make sure yourself whether Tyrant is a failure or not.
I mean, it is hideously deformed, and it does have a massive weak spot in its heart, which is pumping right on its chest over there. Of course, I can't really aim at the heart, I can only aim up and down, but...
Go to hell. Jill will join you too. What? Don't come this way! No!
Don't come this way! Oh, he came this way. There. And now I...
Can't kill me.
Yep, because I'm going to run away! Like a brave STARS member! Run, 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 run. Can I open the door? It's electronically locked! Oh, crap. Can I get the key? There's no time to operate it. What a miserable death. You're quite right. Okay, right. Enough messing around. Okay, that missed somehow. This guy is soaking up bullets. Oop. Oh, he's sleeping. I mean, that didn't really take as many bullets as I thought it would, but, you know, hey-ho. What a miserable death. Okay, right, so there's nothing else I can get from him, gone from him, but I can unlock this door. Unlock the door. Right, is there an ammo machine in here? No. Where is the ammo machine? Yep, she's fine.
Wow.
Ha! It seems like this bulletproof jacket is pretty strong.
I see.
It is supposed to be a bulletproof
How
jacket.
about Captain Wesker?
He is sleeping with the ultimate failure.
Ew.
I want to get out of here.
Why would he sleep with the ultimate failure? That's, oh god, that's probably a thing on the internet, isn't it? Right, so Rebecca's here, I'm here. I don't know how to free Jill because there's supposed to be another passcode thing, but I cannot for the life of me remember where it is. And I really don't want it.
Excuse me, Chris.
What, Rebecca?
I saw a research file in this lab. It said that a great deal of research on the Tyrant virus exists right here. We should blow this place up.
Why? What? No, why?
We are already into it over our heads. Rebecca, can you do it?
Yes, sir. I'll set up a triggering system for a bomb.
Why?
Now we have a chance to escape. See you outside the house.
Why? Why? Ooh, I know that noise. That is the noise of a chimera, which is not a good noise. I do not like that noise. There it is. Cool. If I had an ammo disc, I do have an ammo disc. Let's use it now. The last passcode. Again, very, very loud noises. I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies. Again, there's nothing quite more violent than Christian love, right? Right, yeah, climbing around on that ceiling. Up. So we can go free Jill and get the hell out of here. Okay, passcode panel. Whoop. Just try to turn around and open the door. There we go. Dun dun dun. Okay, guessing the triggering system. Ooh, the swelling of the romantic music is just beautiful.
Chris?
Oh, they're hugging, I think.
Jill, you're all right.
Or he's just rubbing his hands over her face.
Wesker is here. He's...
Oh, I know. Anyway, let's get out of here.
Wesker's here. He's betrayed us all. Oh, I know. Anyway, let's go. Wonderful detective. Right, so we've got Jill here with us. Let's get the hell out of here. Run, 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 run. Alright, so now the emergency has been triggered. We can... Oh, okay, bye, Jill. I guess.
Let's get going.
Alright, forward march. Up we go. Oh my word. Yeah, the respawning zombies aren't scary, they're just annoying. Let's get a couple more health herbs here. Why not? We're about to blow this place up anyway. Might as well save a couple of plants while we're at it. You too! Get that. There we go.
Let's get going.
Where is Rebecca? I'm really scared that I've like left her somewhere and she's just going to be stranded. Anyway, right, so yeah, I never got to use that small key. Bit of a shame, but you know. Oop. I can't do that. I can't do that. From there, Rota, shells. Battery, first aid spray. Something there is just so many healing items here. Right, just want to make sure I don't have to like rescue Rebecca. I'm hoping she's waiting for us at the exit, and we can finish off this game once and for all. You know, I picked up that radio, and I genuinely think this is the first time it's actually come into play. I know as Jill, you're kind of running around, and you do use it a fair amount, contacting the others, but... Let's plug that in.
3 minutes until explosion.
Ooh, we've got a countdown timer now.
I made it!
Oh,
Set off the triggering system to the bomb.
great. Why? Look at the monsters! Alright, so Rebecca and Jill stay behind and fight the monsters while I go and signal the helicopter. Now remember, this counter is counting down. I have absolutely no control of my character during this period, which, you know, it's going to make you feel very, very tense. You're like, right, I've already lost 37 seconds out of 3 minutes. Right. So I like how the use of the battery ensures that once you plug it in, you know, you go up in the elevator and it means that you do have enough space in your inventory to use the flare, but also enough space to pick up something else very important later. Here comes the helicopter. With only 2 minutes left to go. As you can see, this is a big open space for the helicopter to land on, but also big open space for perhaps a boss fight. I do find it quite weird that that door is three-dimensional, like it should be opened. Little 2D images there of the rocks. Whatever the hell that is as well, that weird little room there. Run away, run away. Oh, yeah, generally can't go anywhere near that weird little room. Let me just check on the map where I am. Yep, okay. Oof. Ow, ow. Ow. This guy's mean. No fair! Okay, right. Big old rocket launcher. Great way to end the game. Typical Japanese way. Oof. Keep warning, flashing lights, jeez. I gotta pause that there because look at the detail they've gone into in just kind of rendering his disembodied head and limbs kind of just lopping onto the floor there with all the clouds of dust around it. Wonderful end, wonderful end. Anyway. At least we know for sure he's very, very dead. And there we go, that is the end of Resident Evil Director's Cut. Got the good ending now. Saved both Jill and Rebecca, whereas when I played as Jill, I only managed to save Chris, and didn't save Barry because I didn't wait for him to go and get a rope. It's a very weird reason to fail the game, but you know, there we go. That's how it works. Right, so the helicopter comes down, picks us all up, takes us to the distance, and lovely special effects there. You can see Rebecca lying on the side there, Chris looking relieved, and Jill there in her normal outfit. And Rebecca just having a bit of a snooze. Why not? Born Free. The dramatic music. Again, the orchestral dramatic music just doesn't seem to go with the vibe of this game. And that's something that is oddly reminiscent of Star Wars? Anyways, yeah, that's the game there. We did pick up quite a few sort of points and details. In fact, I'm just going to bring this up and see what we went through. I didn't really make any more notes apart from the strange fast zombie, but I should actually make notes on the fact that the Chimera could actually scurry along the walls and drop down. And also jump up again onto the ceiling. As you can see, like, they've got not a very extensive team here, especially for a Capcom game. Obviously, games weren't the multi-million-dollar industry that they are today. They were a pretty big thing back in the PlayStation era, but they had a turnaround on games of a year, maybe two at most, before they'd release the game or release a sequel. Which is why it was quite shocking that Resident Evil 2 took 2.5 years to actually make, and it's because they made most of a game, like 80% of a game, and then kind of release, like, decided to just go back to the drawing board and start all over again. Yeah, obviously it's all made in Japan, the Japanese team, voiced by Americans, very, very badly. Yes, what other notes do we need to take? So, atmosphere is definitely defined by the music. Noises and sounds. So we have audio triggers, I think, audio cues. So one of the main audio cues savory music. This weird sort of dramatic orchestral action music in the background it's very strange. Zombie shuffle and claws onto the floors. Oh. The floors. Ending theme Tempest. Project. Yeah, director of lighting was actually Ada Takehisa. That's interesting. Yeah, and so obviously they outsourced a lot of their stuff, the production, the special effects, post production. And directed by Shinji Mikami, or Mikami Shinji. And produced by Mikami Shinji. So, yeah, after finishing this off, I am actually going to be trying to do a short play session, not a very long play session, a short play session of Sweet Home, just to kind of look into the game mechanics of that game that inspired this one, that, made Mikami Shinji actually create this game, because he based a lot of his core principles, a lot of the core game mechanics in this game on this very old Famicom game. It's not even for the SNES, it's for the original Nintendo, the Famicom, and it came out in 1989, so a good 7 years before this game came out. Obviously a lot of things have changed, had changed even back then, moving things from top-down two-dimensional games to full three-dimensional environments for them to play with. And yeah, I think it'll be quite interesting to investigate just how the sort of Gothic influences there changed, well, kind of shaped this game as a whole. Total time of 4 hours and 48 minutes. Jesus, right, it took a long time just kind of dicking around and looking at all the monsters and playing around and experimenting, and number of saves 8, so it did not do very well. Thankfully, I don't think they actually rank you in this one. What a tough guy. You've closed this case completely, because I got the good ending. Obviously, you can get all the different endings. There'll be 4 endings for each playthrough. You get the bad ending where nobody survives, good endings, the sort of good plus endings, and they get the final actually really good ending. Playing through again, I think you get an infinite ammo weapon, but yeah, I'm not going to be playing through it again. 0-0 main hall. There we go, that's it. Right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I think we've learned quite a lot of interesting lessons from looking at the original father of modern day survival horror games. Anyway, let's just put this on here. Resident Evil. I will be continuing the series, looking at Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, and then going to the remakes as well. And just seeing exactly how the game has evolved and how games as a whole, as an industry, have evolved over the past 30 years. Anyway, that's the end of this game. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I hopefully will see you in the next game.